Alrighty guys, we're back for Grim Challengers, and this is a Bloomburrow Standard Brew, and I'm Redcat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, this was a suggestion over in the Discord, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. We have all four Throne of the Grim Captain, a 2-mana legendary artifact. You can tap it to mill 2 cards. Craft with a dinosaur, a merfolk, a pirate, and a vampire for 4 mana. And when you're crafting something, guys, it's exile the 4 from among permanents you control and or cards in your graveyard. So that's definitely noteworthy, as we have a whole bunch of ways to just plug these things into our graveyard. So it crafts into the Grim Captain, which is a 7/7 legendary creature. Menace, Trample, Lifelink, Hexproof. Okay, and then also when it attacks, each opponent sacrifices a non-land permanent. Nice. And then you may put an exiled creature card used to craft the Grim Captain onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. Beautiful stuff, man, especially if we're getting a free top end off of this too. So some of the dinosaurs that we have packed in is actually Trumpeting Carnosaur here on the top end as a 4 of. That bottom ability is actually really going to come in handy as one of our main choice spot removals here for 2 in a red. Of course, you could discard this, have it deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. And since you're discarding it, it's going into the grave, which is going to be good news for the throne. And then also here on the top end, we have Vein Ripper 2 as a 2 of, which is going to be an excellent vampire for this list. And the other vampires that we have packed in is actually Desperate Bloodseeker, a 2-mana 2/2 with a lifelink. When it enters, target player mills 2 cards. You're most likely going to mill yourself. Now the pirates we have packed in is actually Plundering Pirate. This is a 3-mana 3/2. When it enters, you create a treasure token. Okay. We have some other pirates to go over in the honorable mentions here, and I'll go over why I chose Plundering Pirate over those when I go over the honorable mentions. And then the merfolk we have packed in is actually this Cenote Scout. I totally forget. You guys told me how to pronounce this before, and I totally forget how. Maybe I got it, but it's a 1-mana, 1/1. When it enters, it explores. So even more ways to just plug extra things into the grave. Might as well go over the Seed of Hope while we're here in the 1-drop spot. It's a 1-mana instant speed, mill 2 cards. You may put a permanent card from among the milled cards into your hand, and then also you gain 2 life. And honestly, that 2 life does go the extra mile. More ways to plug stuff into the grave. We have a Lively Dirge in here too, a 2-mana sorcery with Spree for a +1 mana. Search your library for a card, put it into your graveyard, then shuffle. That'll come in handy. And then for a +2 on the Spree, return up to 2 creature cards with total mana value 4 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So actually don't know how often we actually activate that bottom ability, but hey, you never know. Okay, guys, so we do have more merfolk, dinosaurs, pirates, and vampires packed in, and it's actually these changeling guys. So 3-tree Mascot, the 2-mana, 2/1. For 1 mana, you can add 1 mana of any color. Activate only once each turn, but that's not why it's in here. It's in here for that changeling ability, which of course, this creature is every creature type. So yeah, you could totally just grab all 4 3-tree mascots out of a grave to craft up the Throne of the Grim Captain, which is pretty darn cool, huh? We do have more changeling cards in here with a couple of Barkform Harvesters as well. This is a 3-mana 2/3 changeling, reach, and for 2 mana, put target card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. It's too bad that doesn't say like the top of your library, because that actually might come in handy then, but I don't know. You never know. Putting it at the bottom of the library could also come in handy, like if you milled too many of your Throne of the Grim Captains. And then do we have any ways to shuffle the deck in here? I'm not sure right now. But anyway, so what kind of spot removal do we have packed in? Outside of the Trumpeting Carnosaur, we have a couple pylons. The Convoke cost, might be a little steep, honestly, but it can hit a creature or planeswalker, which is good. And then it's also in here for the Surveil too, which is just more ways to get more things into the grave. We also have a top end of Virtue of Persistence. The sorcery side, of course, really comes in handy as spot removal. The life gain is always good, but then honestly, in this build, since we're putting so much into the grave, I don't think it's going to be unheard of to be very happy when you spend 7 mana on the actual Virtue of Persistence enchantment side. And that's the same concept with the push and pull in here. More early spot removal or late game reanimation. And of course, the pool, as we know, really works well with Vein Ripper or any ETB effects like Carnosaur too. Over in the mana base, guys, we have a split between swamps and mountains and only one forest because we are very much just splashing the green in here for the Scout and the Seed of Hope. But we do have all for a Fabled Passage plugged in to grab those basics. And then, yeah, just a lot of slow mana with our Surveil lands with the Mortuary and then the District as well. Also, Restless Vents making the cut too, because this could be another way to discard your creatures into the grave for the Throne of the Grim Captain. So seriously, so many ways to plug things into the graveyard. Over in the honorable mentions, guys, a lot actually. So some pirates I considered, Greedy Freebooter, Enterprising Scallywag. So at the beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, you create a treasure token. So I actually just feel like just having that ETB on the Plundering Pirate is going to be a little bit better for this build, even though it's going to be really easy to descend on your turns, and the Scallywag's a little cheaper too. I don't know. There's just something about I want the treasure immediately, and I don't want the risk of having to actually descend and somehow not descending. You know what I mean? Ash Grab could be pretty neat, but I think Seed of Hope is going to be a little bit better for how I put this list together. A Deep Root Wayfinder is a potential Merfolk for this build. Creature of the Schism is a potential vampire for this build. I thought about some board wipes, especially early board wipes like Brotherhood's End. Hopefully, I don't regret not having these in here. Sentinel's another Merfolk that I thought about. And Consuming Ashes is a great budget trade out for Pylon, but I actually don't know how good it's going to be. It can't hit Planeswalkers like Pylon, and then also it's situational Surveil too instead, but it'd be a great budget trade out. Okay, guys. Hopefully that's everything. I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, and see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? Jank? Super janky. But I don't know. I think when we get there, we're really going to get there. Like if we can actually pull off the throne, or Throne of the Grim Captain into the actual Grim Captain, then I think it's going to be pretty good when that happens, obviously. Okay, I'll give it a shot. See what happens here. We have a lot of black sources in the mana base, so see what we hit on the Scout. And 3-tree Mascot can also help us, and Fabled Passage can actually grab the swamp, so that's perfect. I might just go for Throne of the Grim Captain, though, right away here. Ooh, Essence Channeler. Okay. That's scary. Yep, let's get the throne down while we have it. And start with the mill or wait for their turn. I guess we'll wait. Keep the Scout back, because I don't think that 1 damage is going to do anything for us. I'd rather have a chump blocker, potentially. Well, not potentially, probably, right? Because we don't mind having Scout in the grave. Deep Cavern Bat. What do they take here? I don't even know. I have no idea. Let's see what they take. It honestly feels like none of these are a great grab. Or it's like relatively even split. What did they hit there? Seed of Hope, actually. Okay, okay. And then Ruin Lurker Bat as well. Okay, we don't get to see too many bats unless a lot more people are playing bats now. Nice. The Scout actually held the Channeler back there. Got a Pirate into the grave too. Wow, that's good for us. Okay. Okay, wow. Yeah. Let's start with the Surveil here and get the Mascot down. I don't want more mana on top, so I actually am going to mill that. Okay, not bad. And we'll save the mill for the end of their turn again, right? I don't know if there's a real good reason to wait. I guess just showing them less of our build, if that makes sense. Yeah, with a pirate in the grave, changeling on the board, merfolk here. We just need one more creature type, and we can craft this next turn, guys. Dark Star. Okay. Are these gonna hold them back again? Looks like it. Well, the bats can swing in the air, though. A little bit of life gain. Okay. Go up to 22. That gets the counters rolling. Yep. Let's get that mill. Come on, one more creature type. Merfolk Pirate. Crap. That's not what we needed. I guess technically we can tap this to mill even more. Surveil land. We could start with Fabled Passage, so we mill less land, right? So we thin the deck. We grab a swamp for sure. Okay. Then we'll go for the mill. Come on, another creature type. No. So of course Lively Dirge could get that creature type there for us, but we also have the Bloodseeker, which is the vampire that we need. Or the dinosaur too. Oh, yeah, we also need a dinosaur, but that's the changeling. All right, Bloodseeker, let's mill 2 more. Another merfolk. Oh no. Okay. Well, I think it was worthwhile getting that Fable down over the district to thin out that deck a little bit. We'll keep trump blockers on the ground totally fine. Yeah, the big thing here now is, like, hopefully they don't find any ways to exile our creatures, because we have the vampire, the dinosaur, the merfolk, and the pirate. Another channeler. Oh, crap. These go into the air. Okay, down to 10. We're in danger, dude. They're up to 22 here. How did these go into the air? As long as you lost life this turn, it has flying and vigilance. That is terrifying, dude. Ooh, Vein Ripper, why are you not in the grave? How dare, huh? All right. So, we might find one with the Surveil. So we start with the Surveil, right? I guess technically that counts, right? Because then we could keep even more here. Unfortunately, guys, they're going to lose life and just swing in the air next turn anyways. So we'll pay the 4. We'll get the craft there, but they're going all in the air. All right, so we can do Plunderer, our Merfolk from the grave, our Shapeshifter here, and then either Vampire. So I guess the Bloodseeker, right, for the ETB when it comes time to swing with the Grim Captain. Even though we're not going to get a swing with the Grim Captain, still kind of cool, right? We pass it back. They lose life on the Dark Star. They go into the air. They get that full swing. GG opponent. Honestly, dude, we were able to do things pretty fast this game. If we got Grim Captain 1 turn sooner, that could have been pretty sick. Yeah, and we have ways to give haste to the Grim Captain, which I actually think I missed going over when I was going over the deck list. It's Bitter Triumph. No, it's not. Not Bitter Triumph. So many bitter cards in Standard right now. Bitter Reunion. There we go. This deck was really hard for me to go over, so I apologize for that slightly rambling intro. So Valley Rockcaller. We're going to let the opponent swing on in here. They pass back for no reason. We don't have triple black source for the Vein Ripper, so they're going to kill the throne of the Grim Captain. We'll grab Pirate for the treasure. I don't know why they passed back, but I'm glad they're letting me swing with the Grim Captain. Now, it doesn't have indestructible, so they're just going to double block and kill it, but it's worth it. A little bit of life gain here, too. I mean, I didn't miss anything, right? Like, could also grab the Reach from the Harvester, but I'm going to go for that treasure. That way we can play the Vein Ripper for the turn. They're taking it down to 10, no blocks. Oh, hey, 3-tree Mascot actually helps us get that extra black source too. Oh, that's actually really good. I gotta keep an eye on that for sure. We might as well play it all out too. See what we see with the Scout. Push and pull. Sure. Sure, we'll keep that on top. I mean, we have the mana for it, so I don't know. I guess the opponent was just having fun. They wanted to swing with the rock collars, maybe. Maybe they have a quest to just play cards, and they're like, you know what? You know what? We like the Grim Captain. We'll play our cards against this deck, right? Ooh, Vein Ripper doing the thing. They go into the air with the Channeler. But now we have good blocks. But we lose 10 from the rock collars, though. That's actually rough, huh? So we're gonna be forced to chump the big guy. And I suppose we need to double block these guys, which I will double block one of them. Unfortunately, the life gain from the Ripper doesn't go through until after we die, right? That it's not the same thing as having lifelink. Yeah, GG opponent. Technically, they could have won one turn earlier, unless like I said, unless I'm missing something, because the Grim Captain doesn't have reach or anything. So, you know what? Thank you, opponent. Thank you for letting me swing with the fun card. That is pretty cool. And I do think we actually could have got that Grim Captain a turn earlier, had we gotten a little bit luckier there, too, with our mills. Let's keep the ball rolling. As far as Jank goes, that did not feel bad at all, you know? Finding some earlier spot removal could have been pretty good there, right? Like we didn't have Trumpeting Carnosaur for our turn 3, which could have at that point hit one of those channelers, which would have been really good actually. I'm not a huge fan of this hand, but I also don't think it's a mulligan. So I'm gonna keep it. Let's start with that Surveil land. Seed of Hope. I'm gonna keep that actually. Swift Spear. Oh no. Alright, let's get the 3-tree Mascot down. And yeah, as long as they're not exiling things, it's totally fine. If we chump early on, anything to take less damage. Unfortunately, chumping against mono red is never great, so yeah, we'll chump. There's just so many ways to give trample, like Monstrous Rage as a 16 of in every single mono red build. That's what it feels like, right? They got 16 copies of Monstrous Rage. Alright, so Seed of Hope. We could find land, untap source. I'll do that. Gain a bit now, too. I know it's instant speed, but look at that. Untap source. Run of the Grim Captain, though. Crap. Crap, I'm gonna grab it. I know that's probably risky. I think the opponent dropped us a nice. Thank you, opponent. Unfortunately, Fable's mana is going to come out tapped. We're going to grab a black source, and I don't want to hold up the opponent's entire turn. I'm just going to grab it right now. There's no great reason right now to wait till the end of their turn to do that. Oh yeah, dude, we're in danger. Honestly, if they would have dropped a third mountain, I would have said there's a chance of dying this turn. You know what I mean? Enough base. Slick shot show off. Oh no, throw to the Grim Captain off the top. Oh, so it would have been much better to, of course, grab that forest then had we known that the other throne was on top there. We can play Fable, of course. We have 2 plays for the turn. The Carnosaur can take out the Swift Spear, though. We want to do that. That's probably a little bit better, though. While we can hit it, we should hit it. So this could be our 3rd black source on the board without any issues, I'm pretty sure. So let's grab that so we have it for the Vein Ripper when it comes time, if it comes time. Carnosaur, this has to hit while it's tapped out because of the prowess on the Swift Spear. But this might help us survive an extra turn, even though I would have loved to do multiple things. Yeah, I think that's fine. Fugitive Codebreaker. And are they going to save the free Slickshot Show-Off? They sure are. Cacophony Scamp, no sacrifice yet. Going to be more tapped mana off the top. Let's see that Surveil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, you know what? If we keep that on top, we'll have Vein Ripper for next turn. I don't know if we'll survive, but I'm going to keep it. I guess you never know. Throne of the Grim Captain. 3-tree Mascot. We have the tap on the throne, but I want that land on top, so it's going to be an awkward turn of not tapping. Slickshot Show-Off coming on down. We'll try to block the... Oh, that wasn't the free Show-Off. That was another Show-Off. Oh, we're probably dead this turn then, right? They still have a mountain open. I'll attempt the block on the Codebreaker and see what happens. Well, if they buff the Scamp, they sack the Scamp too. I guess the Prowess here. That's actually... That's a tricky decision. I think it would be Scamp based on the one mountain that they have open. They buff it, they get the trample through anyways, but if it was a buff that didn't give trample, like a, what is it, Felonious Rage? I don't think that gives trample, that gives haste. Yeah, GG opponent, crap. I mean, the life gain on Seed of Hope almost did a thing, right? We were only at -1. Yeah. I mean, getting that far, getting to the point where we were about to actually cast a Vein Ripper too. We probably would have died even after the cast though too, with the double Slickshot Show-Off. Not too bad, not too bad. On that Seed of Hope, I probably should have just grabbed that Forest too, but we didn't know that we were going to see a second Throne of the Grim Captain. And since that's what we're trying to do, it would have been a little silly to not grab that too. So I guess it depends what we value more, like actually pulling off the Grim Captain combo or actually trying to survive a bit longer too. All right, here's our Bitter Reunion. I don't want to forget that bottom ability on 3-tree Mascot. Helping us mana fix is actually pretty huge for a 3-color build. So turn 1, we're going to start with that Fable and grab a red source. That way if we want to go turn 2 Bitter Reunion, we can. And I'll just do it right now. I see no reason not to for this build. Even though I know a lot of people like to wait until the very last moment. Alright, Plains from the opponent and they pass it on back. Commercial District's going to be decent. Let's just set up the throne. And start milling, right? Now this is one thing that I'd like to wait till the end, just to give the opponent less information. Uh-oh, might be up against control. Gotta prepare for the counter spells, but at least Throne is on the board, which is huge for us. Okay, Pirate in the Grave. A lot of mana in hand. Probably get rid of a Swamp with the Reunion. We could do that for the turn. I don't really want to discard the 3-tree Mascot. We could. We might end up playing it, though. I'm going to get the Surveil through first, see what we see. Yeah, let's get that Merfolk in the grave. And now that all that's in the grave, I guess it is going to be worthwhile. Let's attempt that Bitter Reunion. It lands. We will get rid of the Mascot just to get... That's 3 of our creature types in the grave. Okay, Push and Pull, Plundering Pirate. And we'll wait on the mill for the throne. I'll tell you what, man. If we can flip this turn 4, which I think is very possible. This is like the same thing as the first game. It just felt like we were doing the combo things really fast and actually getting those creature types through really fast. Okay, end turn. Let's see what it is. Opponent is held up here on the 2 mana. Could be, maybe they got a flash creature. Maybe it's, okay. I was going to say, maybe it's not control. Maybe it's like soldiers or something, but we haven't seen too many soldiers since the new set came out and since rotation. Actually, now that I bring that up, I don't know if we've seen any soldiers. Come on, pirate. No. Oh, geez. All right. Well, is there, I mean, the Fabled Passage is going to be good to thin out this deck. Getting the Plundering Pirate out of our hand is decent. We get one step closer to the pool, I guess. But we really don't have too many great things to pool here. With 2 swamps in hand, we have 1 green source on the board. That's all we need. I'm just going to grab a mountain. I think that's totally fine. Oh, guys, I almost forgot we can tap this to mill 2 more. But we had to thin out the deck first, too, with the Fable. So now we have a better chance of hitting those creatures. Come on. No! Relying so heavily here on luck, right? Let's see if this Plundering Pirate comes down. So with Merfolk and Pirate, we need to hit any of our shapeshifters, or any of our vampires, or any of our dinosaurs. With 1 shapeshifter in the grave, that means we still have another 5 that have the changeling. And then we have 8 vampires. That's 13 cards in the build. They're going to go for the counter on the Plundering Pirate. Okay. Well, it is worth noting, guys, that I am being a little greedy here, right? That was our turn 4. It does seem that we're up against control. So there's still a lot of time to actually flip the Grim Captain, but now we're getting in the range of like board wipes, and Throne of the Grim Captain will get devastated by board wipes, but we'll see. Also, now we'll have enough mana too for the Bitter Reunion. Our Throne just untapped, right? Yes, yes. I used it last turn, which I'll do the exact same concept here. As we'll thin the deck. We'll grab with 2 swamp. I guess we'll grab the forest. Probably okay. Mill 2 cards. Come on, guys. Come on. There's our vampire. All right, dude. Let's try it. Craft it on up. It's a vein ripper too. My goodness. There's our pirate. Merfolk. Dinosaur. Submit 4. This is going to be awesome, man. It has hexproof, so this is going to be particularly difficult for the opponent to deal with. They go Get Lost on the Bitter Reunion. No. We have nothing else to do. I'm going to tap this anyways. Yeah, so we actually don't have the haste. So now they can go ahead, drop a land, drop a Sunfall. And I would say that would be a nail in the coffin. We do have Restless Vents in hand, though. But you see, like, if they exile Grim Captain while these are exiled too, we won't have the pool on the Vein Ripper. It might not be a board wipe. Might not be. Oh, guys, that that was also very silly, because I also could have given myself 2 map tokens too. It is a Sunfall. No, opponent, why? Oh no. Okay, well, I mean, we do have push and pool. We could grab a couple Plundering Pirates, I guess. That's not terrific. Let's just hold off for now. Let's get the Restless Vents down and established. Yeah, luckily, I don't think we're going to get too punished from not taking those map tokens, by the way. I don't know if we're going to actually have creatures to activate the map tokens onto. Caretaker's Talent. Plundering Pirate, huh? I guess we could have activated it onto the Restless Vents. Start with the Surveil on the Commercial District. Virtue. I don't know if that would land successfully. That's a tough decision, man. Virtue could be really, really good. All right, let's attempt the swing with the Restless Vents too and start trading out some of these swamps. Demolition Field. Oh no. I always miss that when the opponents are rocking those. Yeah, we should take it. We're going to be shuffling in the Virtue of Persistence, though, with 2 swamps in hand. You know what? I'm actually going to grab another swamp anyways, just based on what we have on the board, too. Because we could always trade these out to other things. Actually, a lot of our cards that trade out are actually just chilling in the grave right now. Well, at least we landed something. We have a pirate on the board. Pretty brutal stuff from the opponent. I'm actually really regretting being silly and popping the Bitter Reunion, because I am actually worried that those map tokens could have helped out a little bit. We'll see, we'll see. Go for level 2 on the Caretaker's talent. That's gonna be... They want the card draw. Okay, if they power this up, though, it doesn't have any counters on it. It'll just be a 0/0. But getting the card draw there is probably pretty good for the opponent. Yeah, they do have the other power up, but luckily it's only a 1/1 because they used a Sunfall to get rid of our boss monster. And it really is a boss monster, too. Like, if they missed the Sunfall, this would have started heavily leaning towards us. They go for level 3 on this as well. Creature tokens get +2/+2. Now they don't have 2 open for the incubator. Excuse me, guys, luckily. But Pylon isn't great. The Surveil will be fine. I'll play the mana. We could pull those Plundering Pirates back. It's not terrific, but it's damage, and they only have 1. They only have 1 mana open. If we don't do it now... Like, this is a good chunk of damage, right? Good ETBs. We lose the pirates at the end, but we do have Pylon open, too. If we don't do it now and we wait, like, they might just have an infinite amount of counterspells after the fact, too. Yeah, with all this mana open, see, we could have plugged those map tokens onto the pirate. Oh no. Carrot Cake goes and draws them a card on the Caretaker's talent here too. Actually going to be a 3/3 as well. Okay. We'll see what's going to be worth it for the Pylon, but I do think that we want that Surveil this turn. Oh, Fountain Port too. All right, let's go ahead and try it on the rabbit. Try to get the Surveil too, because I think that's going to be very important here. The opponent's thinking, because we could have something huge. Like if they only have 1 counterspell in hand. Okay, they let it die. Another push and pull, actually. I really want that in hand. I'll send the 3-tree Mascot. Yeah, that's fine. But now we have to anticipate that counterspell for sure. And I'm going to save the swamp. I don't remember if we have more that helps us discard. Outside of the Restless Vents and the Bitter Reunions, a lot of the extra stuff in here is just mill. So I don't know if we'll need the swamp, but I don't see a reason to play it right now. We could attempt a good portion of damage, but for now I'm going to try to wait till they tap out a little bit more. And they have great trades here too. That's a tough decision, man. They don't know what's in hand right now. I guess I'll go for the swing and see what ends up happening. Because yeah, they could power that up, and because it gets +2/+2, it's actually just a 3/3 trading. Does look like that's what they're going to do here. 4 mana still available. Oh yeah, we're in trouble. Oh, I have the deck tracker. I guess I can check to see if we have any more things left that helps us discard. I believe we do though. Of course, Trumpeting Carnosaur discards itself. Lively Dirge wouldn't be terrible, right? for what we have in the grave. Yeah, that virtue on top, unfortunately, maybe I shouldn't have taken that action and actually grabbed the virtue, but then if we played a big 7-mana card, what were the odds of it actually sticking around? I'm not 100% certain. When I'm starting to swing with their tokens, Carnosaur, wow. You know what would be pretty sick? We discard it, we pull it back and try to win that way, right? That would be really cool. Let's try it. Instead of just playing it, because it doesn't have haste. If we just play it. See what happens here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the board. And well, or we could play the swamp if we wanted to save the treasure, which I suppose we could. Yeah, I think it's do or die right now, and I really actually like this pool play. Oh, guys, they only have 2 mana available here. We might... They have 5 cards in hand, though. Yeah, like I said, it's do or die. Let's do it. Trumpeting Carnosaur. And a Plundering Pirate. That is 10. Come on, come on. It might just be spot removal. For 2 mana still, right? Or it might be nothing. It might just be this incubator, which if they power it up, it's a 0/0. So, Barkform Harvester. Opponent's waiting for us to swing. Oh no, it's gonna be something. Maybe? Maybe the opponent has 5 options in their 5-card hand, and they're like, which one? Which one? Oh, man. I do like the Plundering Pirate in here, just like that ETB, get that treasure token. Timeout used. Swing for 10. The demolition field. Oh, it's gonna be Parting Gust. Oh yeah, they're still in this easily, man. I guess it was a matter of deciding which removal to use then, right? Because they waited a long while to decide on that. Now, that sacrifice is there. Excuse me, guys. I'm slowly but surely losing my voice, and I apologize for clearing my throat in your ears. This is going to be tough. That was our last push and pull, too. Oh, Sunfall. Yeah, maybe we should give it to the opponent, huh? We're about 38 minutes in. I feel like their list is the type of list that really knows... Like, as far as control goes, when they control leans towards tokens, it should technically really know how to start getting damage through. Throne of the Grim Captain. What a top deck, dude. All right. Yes. What do we have? We only have 2 creature types in the grave, guys. It's because we lost all the other creature types earlier to the first throne. Oh no, oh no. It might be another counter spell too. Alright, let's start with the mill. Maybe we'll mill the other creature types right here, right now. We did not, and we milled the virtue. Oh no. Okay, well now that Throne of the Grim Captain is on the board though, I'm gonna play this out, guys. I guess technically, you never know. They go ahead and generate off the Mirrex. So they got the Might going. They got the card draw on the Talent. Kind of crazy, guys. We only got 24 cards left in the deck from all the mill and stuff. They go ahead, power up the Phyrexian. At long last, the opponent is going to start swinging. So now we're on a clock. Actually, we die next turn if they create a fish or a Mirrex token, because all their tokens get that +2/+2. Which is actually just like really good, isn't it? Okay, there's our merfolk. Come on, guys. This would be pretty sick. Getting the Grim Captain 2 times in one game. Get that Explorer. Get that Surveil. Wow. Dino to the grave. There it is. So when you craft it, it exile this card, return it, transform. So we can actually go ahead and mill the 2 first, right? See if we find like a Vein Ripper or something too. And then it exiles it. Oh, we found some, so we have a chump blocker on the board then too. It's not bad. All right. Merfolk, Dino, Pirate, and Vampire. Too bad it's not a big chunky vampire, but it's something. I don't know, man. I think like this is really showcasing something here. You know what I mean? As far as Jank goes, being able to pull this off, or having those earlier games too, where like we're really, really close to pulling it off as well, or pulling it off early. It just actually doesn't seem half bad. Still going to be janky though, don't get me wrong. 3 steps ahead, they copy the synthesizer. The opponent's rocking tokens, but I can't tell if it's a synthesizer build, because where are there other artifacts that are 3 or higher, you know? Oh, that's still going to be very dangerous though, because we can only chump one of these. Oh, it's only one. Okay. Okay, I thought the other synthesizer ability on the stack was going to be another 9/9, but that's actually the Scry from the ETB. Oh no, guys, those map tokens actually would have helped a little bit too, right? Because we could have found, we did have some turns where we had open mana. We could have like gotten rid of extra mana off the top and stuff like that. The Throne of the Grim Captain, there you are. We have the chump into the 9/9, a great block elsewhere. Life gain on the Grim Captain as well. It's too bad we don't have a way to give it haste. You know, guys, that earlier play where they dropped that Get Lost on the Bitter Reunion was such a good play from the opponent. That was really good. Hexproof saves it from certain spot removal. What they could do, guys, well, that's tough, because they want to remove the chump blocker and then power up both Restless Anchorage to swing in the air. They got like a full swing. We block the 4/4, we go up to 17, and we probably just die then and there. Oh, that's not a 9/9 anymore. That's an 11. Oh, that's a 12/12. Oh, buddy. We saw the opponent's deck in a really weird order, right? I guess they just focused so heavily on the control early on until the right moment came, or they missed their synthesizers for a while too. At least we know that it's not going to be another Sunfall, since they're going wide with their constructs here. Oh, it might be spot removal for the Scout, guys. Oh, dude, that's good. That's good, opponent. They they exchange the 2 creatures, and they give us the one that can't block. So we're forced to block with the Grim Captain to survive. That's brutal, man. So brutal, in fact. No, I should take it. I should take the block. I was gonna say, so brutal, I'll just let it go through. But since we played it out this far, we should actually finish this game. And see what's on top, too. I guess, I don't know what it could be, but I guess it could be something. It's a Desperate Bloodseeker. Let's see what we see on that mill. The opponent found really creative solutions to kind of get rid of our Grim Captains. Well, I guess the first solution was getting rid of the haste and then dropping the Sunfall next turn, which I still think was a pretty clever solution there to not deal with the extra cards. And a huge extra swing at that. So we'll take the mill. Hey, there's a Vein Ripper. with that, we have 1 throne in the grave, 2, 3. We have 1 more throne in the deck, but even that won't save us against the opponent's board state currently. And guys, that reminds me, down in the description, we do have timestamps, and at the bottom of the video, we have chapters too. Always feel free to skip around the videos if you want. You can always go forward to see the final thoughts of the video too, or the discussion, as I call it, in the chapters there. Also, I forgot to bring it up in the middle of the video, but while you're down in the description, make sure you check out that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. The Patreon really does go the extra mile, so thank you, thank you, thank you to all my beautiful patrons. While we're talking all this YouTube nonsense, if you liked the video, make sure you drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, consider subscribing. Just letting the opponent pop off here, it actually looks pretty fun, so it's totally fine. Good game, opponent. I like letting them play it out too if they got any quests and whatnot and they're crunched on time, because I definitely know what it's like to be crunched on time, the opponent concedes, and then you gotta hop into like a couple more games because you just needed to play 2 more cards, but the opponents keep leaving or something, you know what I mean? So, alright guys, 100% loss rate. Is anyone surprised? No, probably not, but that kind of felt, I don't know. It kind of felt good, but I don't want to call it good because it's definitely janky. But like, I'm not upset with how it played out by any means. I guess that's how I want to word that, right? Yeah, I'm not sad. I think it played out pretty good, actually. Let's do some rearranging here for like where our spot removal is and whatnot, and that's kind of what it looks like. And we're not like really worried about getting to the top end of that Vein Ripper, as we're trying to cheat it out most of the time with the actual Throne of the Grim Captain. The Grim Captain swing. More ways to give haste to the Grim Captain could be pretty good. Unfortunately, like, you would think having hexproof means that like it's pretty safe, but it's not. It just isn't. Like, if we weren't up against control in that last game, we also could have been up against like mono black, and guess what? They could have just dropped Liliana and made us sacrifice it. So maybe more ways to give it haste, that could be pretty good too. Since we're just splashing the green, maybe the Seed of Hope is unnecessary, but I do think the life gain is going to be pretty good here. And we don't have too much life gain packed in, but we also got that life gain on the Virtue of Persistence as well, which I do think, I just think that extra life gain goes that little bit of a extra, like maybe it'll give you an extra turn type of thing, right? And an extra turn against mono red is very important, especially if you flip the Grim Captain and then give it haste and swing, and then you got 7 lifelink coming back to you, and then all of a sudden you can start pulling it forward, especially if like you get that free Connoisseur on that hasty swing too. So it's like a lot to consider here, and like Harvester isn't like the greatest creature. And on that note, neither is the 3-tree Mascot, but I actually am impressed by that bottom ability actually coming in handy today. So I think that ability will continue to come in handy. Either way, they're not the greatest creatures, but they're in here because they're changeling, which makes flipping the throne much more consistent. And that's kind of the reason that I'm like not disappointed by how the deck performed. It felt like it was going to be consistent, and as far as combo decks go, that's important, dude. Now the question is, can it still hold up against the current incredibly powerful and brutal meta? I don't even know if we want to call it the meta yet, because it still feels like people are just playing around, and they're just playing around with really powerful things all the time is the problem. So probably not. It probably won't hold up. When I put it up on Aether Hub, I'm just going to call it Combo Jank, most likely, right? But what could we do to actually help it hold up a little bit more? I don't know. I have no idea. That's where you guys come in. Let me know in the comments. What would you add or take out? Let me know if you enjoyed the deck list, even though we got 3 losses in a row. You agree with me? It kind of felt like it was playing out all right. I think overall the goal today shouldn't have been victories. It should just be flipping into that Grim Captain and just being happy about it, which I am very pleased. I don't really have much else to say here. The mana base felt pretty good, even though these are tapped lands. Surveil lands are pretty darn good, especially in a deck like this. Fabled Passage felt terrific for what it's doing. By the way, guys, this is an old version of Fabled Passage. I actually have none of the new Fabled Passage, so this is a reprint that I just did not want to spend rare wild cards on a card that I already had. So when I put it up over in the description and over on Aether Hub 2. I'll change this to the new version, but always double check with any of your reprints and make sure that you don't have any of the old versions too, because obviously those rare wildcards are very important. So always double check that. I'll try to bring that up at the end here every time I play with the Fabled Passage. So you'll see me playing with this older version, but when I put it up, I'll put the newest version in Aether Hub, hopefully, if I remember. Anyways, always keep an eye on that with any reprints. Okay, guys, hey, enough rambling, huh? You made it this far into the video for real? Y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.